If you've ever bought gadgets at street markets, you know the main rule. The smaller the box, the bigger the promises. That's how I ended up with a luck subscription, a tiny plastic device with text printed on it. 30 days of uninterrupted good luck, happiness guaranteed, no returns. Well, I thought, my life isn't going to get any worse anyway. These days, services that sell happiness don't surprise anyone. You can rent charisma for a week. You can top up your willpower after dealing with clients. You can buy a 3-day confidence reboot if your boss has started doubting you. All of it is sold in the same aisles as light bulbs and disposable toothbrushes. People treat it like groceries, milk, cereal. Oh right, and I should probably renew my resolve. So the luck subscription didn't seem suspicious when I saw it on sale in a souvenir shop. A small white box, cheap holographic stickers, a cheerful slogan. 30 days, no glitches, no explanations, no details, just a promise vague enough that no one would be responsible for anything if it failed. The price, at least, was low enough that I didn't have to pretend I was investing in my future. I was just buying a thing that, at minimum, wasn't supposed to electrocute me. The instructions were printed on a card that had possibly survived a cup of coffee and possibly a small fire. Insert batteries, activate device. Impact on the probabilistic background of events will begin automatically. I read it twice, then again. Not a word about what exactly would change. I filled out workplace surveys with clearer wording. I shrugged, put in the batteries, and waited. For sparks, for light, for a signal, for anything. The device clicked once. The way things click when they don't intend to do anything else. I guess that's what luck sounds like, I muttered. The door across the hall cracked open, and Mrs. Hanley, my neighbor, appeared. Her voice always sounded like she was commenting on the life of someone who made bad decisions on a regular basis. "Another self-help toy?" she asked. "It's a luck subscription," I said. She nodded as if I'd said I bought dish soap. "Just make sure it doesn't void your renter's insurance. Those supernatural plans always have tricky clauses." I never knew if she was joking. With Mrs. Hanley, it was always 50-50. Overall, the device looked harmless. No glowing runes, no ominous hum, no pop-up asking me to sell my soul. Just a box about the size of a sandwich, promising to slightly adjust fate in your favor. And that word, slightly, inspired trust. Like the warning on frozen meals. Contents may be hot, technically true, practically meaningless. I put the device on the kitchen table. I looked at it sitting there, obedient as a brick, and decided I'd probably just thrown away $10. But the next morning, when I woke up and ran into something unexpected, that was the first time I thought that word hadn't been chosen out of caution. It didn't mean anything at all. The first hint that the subscription actually worked came that morning. The toaster produced 2 slices of bread so perfect they looked photoshopped. Golden, symmetrical, crisp at the edges and soft inside. I hesitated before taking a bite. 2 slices of bread, identical, even, without a single burnt corner. I stared at them longer than I should have. My breakfasts don't usually look like this. Okay. That's weird, I muttered. My toaster usually lives its own life. The second sign came in the elevator. Normally, our elevator is a vertical crush where personal space goes to die. But that morning, the doors opened and it was blissfully empty. No elbows, no coffee smell. No guy with a motivational podcast blasting at full volume. Just me and blessed silence. As I stepped in, my neighbor Miller tried to slip through the closing doors. They gently pinned him, annoyed but polite, Lucky you, he grumbled, freeing himself. My optimism pass is still updating. System glitch again. Sorry, I said, trying not to look too pleased. On the way to work, everything started lining up too smoothly. A passing bus didn't splash me. A street vendor accidentally handed me an extra napkin instead of the usual look of hatred. Even the traffic light turned green exactly as I reached it, as if it had been waiting for me. But the real shock happened at the office. The printer, the legendary office monster that chews paper and freezes out of spite. It dispensed 3 new pens. Not documents, pens. Blue ones. They wrote perfectly. I hadn't even pressed a button. They just slid out like a friendly mechanical offering. Then my boss walked by. Normally he senses lateness like a shark senses blood. But that day, he walked right past me and didn't even glance at his watch. 40 minutes late. Not a single consequence. I sat there holding 3 miraculous pens. I finished the last bite of perfect cheese toast. I did my best not to look suspiciously happy. So, I thought, micro luck exists, not dramatic, not life-changing, just tiny, carefully polished islands of comfort. It seemed harmless, even convenient. I didn't yet know that things like this don't just happen. If the world suddenly starts meeting you halfway, it means the bill is already being prepared somewhere. After a few days, it became clear that the luck subscription had a very narrow and highly unpredictable sense of responsibility. Cups stopped spilling, no matter how clumsily I grabbed them. Buses arrived the exact second I reached the stop, as if syncing their schedules to me. And the snack machine always gave a bonus. My purchase, plus some sad little candy bar that had been stuck there since the Eisenhower administration. But when it came to anything that actually mattered, it was different. My laptop died with a quiet wheeze, like it had finally lost the will to live. The bank lost my transfer and suggested I maintain a positive mindset during the investigation. I understood I wouldn't be seeing that money. And then my girlfriend sent the message no one ever wants to get. You're a great guy, but I didn't read the rest. I already knew the ending. I decided to contact the manufacturers of this wonderful little box. I dialed the support number printed on the back, right under the cheerful warning. Luck results may vary significantly. Hello, you've reached Luck Micro Customer Support. Please state the issue you're experiencing, sang a robotic voice. I think my luck is, well, kind of small, I said. Processing request, the voice replied happily. Confirmed. Your plan, residual. What does that mean? Primary resource was previously used. So what do I get? A pause. Stable deviations in minor details. It didn't click right away. I had luck, just not where it's usually needed. I stared at the box like it had personally insulted me. Is there an upgrade? Can I buy normal luck? The kind that doesn't ruin your life? One moment. Checking availability. The pause stretched long enough for me to imagine the universe rolling its eyes. Upgrade unavailable. According to global balance regulations, luck is transferable only in full. Residual fragments are not eligible for exchange or refund. So I got the leftovers. Congratulations, the voice replied enthusiastically. Many users find micro luck charming. I slowly hung up. I felt the world tilt another degree. If this was only residual luck, I had an unpleasant suspicion about why the previous owner had needed the main portion, and whether that problem was now heading straight for me. The further the month went on, the stranger the order of events became. On the day I was fired, for example, I found a single free donut in the office kitchen. No note, no box, Just one perfect donut. I took it after the meeting with my boss. I ate it, standing up. It was warm. My boss delivered the news with his usual corporate warmth. "We're restructuring. Restructuring employees?" I clarified. He nodded. "Take your time. Pack your things calmly." He took my chair the moment I stood up. On the way home, I stopped by a clinic. My right eyelid wouldn't stop twitching. The doctor listened, nodded, and said it. Moderate stress condition. Then he tapped on his tablet. "Congratulations. A premium relaxation couch just opened up." He said it like I'd won a spa certificate. The couch really was incredibly comfortable. But lying on it thinking about money wasn't quite as relaxing as he probably hoped. Later, I opened a letter from the bank about my overdue loan. Everything clenched inside me. But the envelope opened perfectly, cleanly, neatly. The paper inside was ordinary. The edge of the envelope wasn't smooth, precise. I ran my finger along it and only then realized I was angry. A pattern had formed. Disasters in the headlines, small miracles in the footnotes. Everything important was collapsing, and the little things kept working. At some point, I caught myself whispering it. This isn't luck. This is minor convenience against the backdrop of a breakdown. Micro luck kept raining down, relentless and useless. Free napkins, parking spots out of nowhere, pens with endless ink. And everything that mattered, work, money, relationships, was sliding downhill with growing enthusiasm. The contrast was maddening, like I was being mocked slowly. And worst of all was the feeling that the real reason for this residual luck was still ahead, hiding, waiting to bare its teeth. On the 30th day, the box beeped like a microwave with burnt leftovers. A tiny screen lit up with cheerful cruelty. "Your subscription has expired. Thank you for using residual luck." Below that, in microscopic print, the previous owner used the primary luck quota to prevent a catastrophic event. "Your plan reflects the remaining micro luck after full depletion. Thank you for your understanding." I stared at the screen and didn't immediately understand what had caught my attention. "Catastrophic?" I whispered. "That's not a word you want near a device that's been quietly tugging at the threads of your fate for a month." As if on cue, my ancient coffee maker exploded. A fountain of steam, shards of plastic, not broke, exploded. I barely jumped back in time, my heart hammered, my lungs filled with the ghost smell of burnt coffee. I checked myself. No cuts, no burns, no bruises. Somehow I dodged it. Then I understood. The main luck had run out long before I bought the box. Someone else had already used the real miracle, the kind that saves your life. I got the crumbs. And now, even those were gone. My phone chimed. For a second, I hoped it was anything else. A message from the bank. "Your overdue account has been transferred to collections. Have a nice day." Lovely, I muttered. Just magical. The subscription lay on the table, dead and silent. The kitchen smelled like defeat and melted plastic. This story clearly hadn't been started by me. That morning, I was fighting with the coffee machine again. The coffee had gone cold, but the smell of burning still lingered in the kitchen when there was a knock at the door. On the porch stood a man. In his hands were 2 slices of toast, identical to an unsettling degree. He was smiling, like everything had worked out. "Hello," he said. There was something excessively cheerful in his voice. "Sorry for the strange question. Did you recently have a device called a luck subscription here?" "I did," I said. "Perfect," he said, lighting up. "Then I've got the right address." "I bought it at a sale," he added casually. "After you." He glanced at the toast like it was evidence. "I just wanted to say thank you. Almost a month. No glitches, no warnings. Just little things. Very convenient little things. He spoke easily, without excitement, like someone whose life had finally started working. How did you manage to tune it so precisely? I didn't answer. You know, he continued, leaning in like he was sharing a professional secret. If you ever come across another one of these devices, used, not new, I'll buy it for any price. Luck is fragile. Big things are better left alone. Let them break on their own. But the little things, he smiled. It's nice when they behave themselves. He waved and left. He clutched the box to his chest, carefully, like fragile equipment. I closed the door and stood there for a long time. The cold didn't come right away. Then it clicked. I hadn't gotten rid of the device. I wasn't selling luck. I was passing along the absence of catastrophe. The rest, the system distributed on its own. Something clicked behind me. I didn't turn around, and still I heard my name.